My wife, who has been married to me for 10 years, recently started dating a new boyfriend. That man recently returned from studying abroad, has six-pack abs, and his social media is full of luxury cars, expensive watches, and five-star hotels. Bai Wei held her phone, laughing uncontrollably. When I tried to peek, she kicked me off the bed. What are you looking at? Who do you think you are to mind my business? You good for nothing. Hurry up and raise money for Nan's tuition. But throughout our 10 years of marriage, I've handed over all my salary, and she's always been the one managing our household expenses. So why is she suddenly asking me to pay for tuition? Just as I sat up, she kicked me down again and threw the blanket and pillow onto the floor. Go sleep in the guest room. I'm in a bad mood lately. Don't bother me. This is the first time we've slept in separate rooms in 10 years. I know she has feelings for that man. But after looking at that man's social media posts again and again, I keep feeling that the Rolls-Royce looks particularly familiar. Why does it look like the one I was driving just this afternoon? My wife Bai Wei is a mid-level manager at her company. She's used to getting up early to do yoga. Seafood porridge is complicated to make, so I got up at 4 to select fresh seafood, and after much effort finally served it at the table. She shot me a harsh glare. I'm about to be late. You're so annoying. Put it in a thermal container for me. After 10 years of marriage, she's gradually lost patience with me, leaving only constant orders and mockery. I quickly cleaned up and took our daughter Nan to kindergarten. Goodbye, Dad. Nan's braids bounced up and down as she walked. I smiled and said goodbye to her, but after she was far away, the kindergarten teacher stopped me. Nan's father. Did you bring the tuition fees today? Nan attends a private kindergarten, and the tuition isn't cheap. Parents coming and going couldn't help but whisper among themselves. How can this person even fall behind on his child's tuition? Exactly. If you're poor, just go to a public school. I was incredibly embarrassed and repeatedly apologized. I will definitely pay by tomorrow at the latest. As I was taking out my phone to call my wife, Douyin pushed a recommendation for someone I might know. The video shockingly showed the porridge I had made this morning. The caption read, "Feeling loved with this morning's seafood porridge. Thanks, Sis White." So the porridge I had placed in the thermos was being consumed by someone else. I felt my mood suddenly change from sunny to cloudy. Behind me, a Rolls-Royce honked twice, interrupting my thoughts. It was CEO Sue, who rolled down her window, her red lips parting slightly. What a coincidence, Lin Yu. Just dropped off your daughter? Come over and drive for me. Sue Yuan was the heiress of the Sue Group, Harvard graduate. She took over the family business upon her return and promoted me to be her assistant. I hurriedly responded, got in the car and drove toward the office, unable to resist asking. CEO Sue, did anyone else drive this Rolls-Royce yesterday? No, this car is newly purchased, and you're the only one who's driven it. That's strange then. CEO Sue has no reason to lie to me. So what's the deal with the car in my new boyfriend's social media post? I called Bai Wei with questions in mind, but as expected, she hung up on me. I could only send her a message. Honey, our daughter's school fees of 100,000 are due, and all my money is with you. I'm in an international meeting, don't bother me. If you don't have money, figure something out. I don't have any either. I sighed helplessly, thinking I'd have to wait until she finished work to discuss this with her. The CEO asked me to buy her coffee. When I went downstairs and entered the cafe, I caught sight of Bai Wei feeding cake to a strange man. Seeing cake on the corner of his mouth, Bai Wei affectionately reached out to wipe it off for him. The man held her hand against his face, and they gazed at each other lovingly. Trembling, I took out my phone and captured this moment. My mind went blank. I always knew that love has an expiration date. I just didn't think our love would expire so quickly. Seeing me appear, Bai Wei's eyes kept avoiding mine. I quickly asked first, Honey, didn't you say you were in an international meeting? Why are you in a cafe, and who is he? The gazes of people around were immediately drawn over. White Wei had an angry expression on her face. Why are you shouting so loudly? Aren't you embarrassed? Zhou Shuai he is my client. What are you making a scene for? My chest heaved violently as I met Zhou Shuai's eyes with a furious glare. Yes, Ms. Bai is my business partner. I work in medical aesthetics investment and graduated from Harvard Business School. I just returned to the country recently. He extended his hand, deliberately exposing the Patek Philippe on his wrist, gripped my hand with subtle force, and spoke with contempt. So you're Ms. Bai's husband? The porridge you made suits my taste perfectly. I frowned and yanked my hand away, questioning. Honey, why did you give the porridge I worked hard to make to someone else? We had a business meeting this morning, and Mr. Zhou has stomach issues, so I gave him the porridge you made. A house husband like you simply doesn't understand how busy these talented young professionals are. The contempt in those words made me frown involuntarily, but there were more important matters at hand. Honey, our daughter's tuition can't be delayed any longer. Don't we have several $100,000 in the education fund we saved for her together? White Wei's eyes showed panic as she stammered. Honey, I was just about to tell you. I think the economy isn't doing well, so maybe we shouldn't send our daughter to that private school. We should be more careful with money. I felt suspicious. When she was pregnant, she was the one who promised to spoil our daughter like a princess and give her the best education. How could she change her mind so suddenly? I sat in Mr. Sue's Rolls-Royce waiting for her to finish work, my mind heavy with concerns. A group of well-dressed young men and women walked by, their clothing tags still hanging outside. The man leading them pointed at the Rolls-Royce with his video camera, completely ignoring the fact that I was still inside the car. Come on, today we didn't rent a car, everyone just shoot next to this Rolls-Royce. The glamorously dressed women immediately stepped forward, carrying bags of all sizes, and began to strike exaggerated poses, making gestures as if to open the car door. I smiled helplessly. I can't believe I've encountered fake socialites doing a group photo shoot. Looking more carefully, Zhou Shuai was actually leaning against the car window, gazing at the sky at a 45 degrees angle, striking a melancholic pose. I instinctively took out my phone to take a picture, and saw Su Yuan walking gracefully towards us, coldly rejecting Zhou Shuai's attempt to chat her up. She sat in the back seat and signaled me to drive, playfully sticking out her tongue. I've seen plenty of these fake socialites trying to climb the social ladder. How did you know he was fake, Miss Su? Everything he's wearing is counterfeit, except for that watch which is real. I understood immediately and planned to pick up Nan Nan and go back to tell Bai Wei that she had been deceived. Nan Nan was standing at the kindergarten entrance wiping away tears. My heart ached as I picked up my daughter. What's wrong, Nan Nan? Tell Daddy who bullied you. Daddy, is it because our family doesn't have money for me to go to school anymore? My daughter sobbed as she cried. My heart was wrenched. When we got home, I immediately protested to Bai Wei. Honey, no matter how difficult things get, we shouldn't make our child suffer. Suddenly changing schools will have such a big impact on her. Bai Wei replied dismissively. She's still young. She won't remember this. You don't earn the majority of our income, so why are you spending money so lavishly? I felt deeply powerless. My heart grew cold with pain. I felt sorry for my child and sorry for myself. Although my job doesn't earn much money, it's stable. Every month, I hand over my salary on time, only keeping a few hundred for daily expenses. Each season's clothes are added to my wardrobe under Bai Wei's supervision, and my phone is always her discarded one. For the sake of this family, I clenched my fists, made up my mind, and said, Bai Wei, I demand to see the bank statement for that card. That's our joint marital prop. Ertie, Bai Wei shouted, pretending to be calm. I invested that money. It hasn't turned a profit yet, but it will in a few months. Invested? With whom? Well, Zhou Shuai. He said we would open a cosmetic medical facility together. I stood there thunderstruck, almost unable to find my voice. The 500,000, you transferred it all to him? Don't you know he's just a scammer? I felt a chill throughout my body and angrily pulled out my phone, pointing at the photos I took in the afternoon. He's just a fake rich guy from a group buying scheme. After saying this, my chest heaved violently, and I realized I was being too harsh. Perhaps being scammed wasn't Bai Wei's intention. Bai Wei looked through the pictures and gave me a strange look. Lin Yu, could you stop making a scene? Zhou Shuai even made me the legal representative of his company. You agreed to be his legal representative too? Have you lost your mind? I felt blood rushing to my head, and my vision began to blur. You worthless failure. How dare you speak to me like that? Do you not want me to have a good life? Zhou Shuai already told me. He specifically took photos because he liked this model of car. I was shocked beyond words, covering my aching heart as I murmured. You'd rather believe a stranger of unknown background than your husband of 10 years. That was our 10 years of hard work. I would rather the money had been wasted by Bai Wei than swindled by a fake rich man. Our daughter came out of her room crying, clinging to Bai Wei's leg. Mom, I don't want to go to school. Please stop fighting with Dad. Bai Wei glanced at her phone, pushed our daughter aside, and instructed me. Zhou Shuai called me for a meeting. Take care of our daughter at home. After she left, I comforted my sobbing daughter, finally unable to hold back my own tears. Just then, my phone screen lit up. Zhou Shuai had posted an update. Enjoying a wonderful night with the ladies. The image showed a pair of intertwined hands, with the woman's ring finger wearing the wedding ring that belonged to Bai Wei and me. So the meeting they were having at night was at a nightclub. The second image was of a brand new Rolex watch, with words specifically stating it was voluntarily gifted by Bai Wei. My heart sank to the bottom. I had been begging for Nan Nan's tuition money for days, yet it was given away so easily. Bai Wei once said, where the money is, that's where love is, so she always demanded that I hand over my salary. Now Zhou Shuai had won Bai Wei's heart with his counterfeit goods. I was in a daze as I lulled Nan Nan to sleep when a sudden urgent phone call came through. My father's anxious voice almost pierced through the phone. Lin Yu, something terrible has happened. Your mother has been hospitalized with a cerebral hemorrhage. We need 200,000 yuan to save her. Li. Fei, what? I hurriedly got out of bed and quickly sent Bai Wei a message. Honey, my mom's in the hospital and we need 200,000 yuan. Come over as soon as you see this. Traffic in City A was especially congested today, and I anxiously honked my horn several times. But the brand new Rolls-Royce in front seemed to be deliberately cutting me off, which angered me so much that I burst out cursing. Have you no manners? Can't you drive properly? The Rolls-Royce door swung open, and Zhou Shuai walked up to me smugly. Brother Lin, thanks to your wife, I'm driving a Rolls-Royce now too. Be careful. Can you even afford to pay if you scratch it? Oh, what kind of car is this? Oh, I almost forgot. Your wife just told me you're only a driver. My knuckles turned white as I gripped the steering wheel, squeezing out through clenched teeth. Zhou Shuai, good dogs don't block the road. We'll settle the matter of you scamming money from my wife later. How can you call it a scam when it was consensual? Your wife handed that savings card to me herself. By the way, your wife was amazing last night. Blood rushed up my throat, and I tasted a hint of iron as I glared at him with crimson eyes. Seeing that he had achieved his goal, Zhou Shuai walked away laughing. I rushed to the hospital desperately, but still couldn't make it in time to see my mother. She had already been taken to the ICU for emergency treatment. My father's hunched silhouette made my eyes well up. Dad, how much more money do we need? The doctor said we need to deposit at least 300,000 yuan first. Your mother and I have already put in all our savings. Looking at my elderly father's reddened eyes, I trembled as I dialed by Wei's video call. Honey, where are you? Can you get 300,000 yuan to save my mother's life? 300,000? No way. Our little family needs money too. Figure it out yourself. Do you really still care about our little family? I stared at the Hikion by Wei's neck, my voice choked with emotion. Of course I do. Don't you trust me? Then where's our money? The money we saved up over 10 years of marriage. Did you give it all to Zhou Shuai? That's an investment. If you don't understand, then don't ask so many questions. Then what about my mother's life-saving money? White Wei, are you going to let her die? White Wei stammered, and after a while squeezed out a sentence. Could you borrow some money first? My phone smashed straight onto the ground as I slid down the cold wall. White Wei said she would manage our money, so all my savings were swindled away, and I couldn't even afford the medical expenses. The doctor stopped my father, strictly professional. The patient's condition is very poor. The family should pay the fees promptly to facilitate further treatment. Father nodded and bowed with a placating smile. Yes, we. LL go raise the money right now. In that instant, my heart turned to ashes. Opening WeChat, White Wei sent a message. Zhou Shuai says the company shareholders need to go out of town for a meeting. Please take care of Nan. I calmly typed a line. Fine, White Wei, let's get a divorce. Then I immediately blocked her contact. At this moment, the sound of high heels came from the end of the corridor. Su Yuan appeared in professional attire. Why is Director Su here? Of course I'm here to help in your time of need. She waved the bill in her hand. My good driver didn't come to pick me up today, which made me late, so I decided to check on you. I didn't know what to say, my eyes reddened, and I covered my head as I burst into tears. Su Yuan handed me a fragrant tissue and said softly, Come on, stop crying. It's embarrassing for a grown man. Getting help is more important. Isn't Nan still at home? It's not safe for a child to be alone at home. Returning home, I saw my helpless daughter sitting in spilled milk with messy bed hair, and my anger surged. White Wei left in such a hurry that she actually abandoned Nan alone at home. I resolutely dialed my lawyer friend. Help me draft a divorce agreement. I need to sue someone. I turned around to find Su Yuan gently holding Nan, patiently braiding the little girl's hair. My heart softened, and I smiled as I said, CEO Su, I didn't know you were good with kids. Su Yuan smiled at me with a slightly reproachful tone. What? You underestimated me. I'm actually very good at taking care of children. I embarrassedly scratched my head. I thought young ladies like you generally didn't like children much. How could that be? I once volunteered in Africa for a while, taking care of children there. Su Yuan ruffled Nan's hair and pretended to be angry. Don't judge me by appearances. I never expected that CEO Su is not only capable at work, but also has such a kind heart. I joked with her, feeling a warmth I hadn't felt in a long time. I started packing up my and Nan's belongings, preparing to move out of the house. Seeing this, Su Yuan also lent a hand. If this house is left to your ex-wife, where will you and Nan live? I tilted my head and thought for a while, then answered honestly. I don't know. I might ask my old friends if I can stay with them temporarily, then make longer-term plans. Actually, I wasn't confident either. After marriage, I had devoted myself completely to my family, never staying out all night. My income was modest, and I handed it all over, so I hadn't been in contact with those friends for many years. Su Yuan seemed to have anticipated my predicament. She hugged Nan and playfully winked at me. How about this? I really like Nan, so she can live with me from now on, and you can be my life assistant. This, doesn't seem right. What's not right about it? I'll pay you double salary. I was moved, but I knew deep down that I was far from worthy of someone as wonderful as Su Yuan. I silently resolved to grow into a man who could match her, one who could shelter her from wind and rain. In the days that followed, life seemed to get back on track. I still maintained my habit of waking up early to make breakfast. The first time Su Yuan tasted my seafood porridge, she couldn't stop praising my culinary skills. Lin Yu, you really should be a Michelin chef. Mother's condition was brought under control with timely treatment, and now she has regained consciousness and is undergoing rehabilitation. There's no need to worry about Nan Nan's tuition either. Su Yuan said she was just seeing things through to the end. I contacted my advisor at Qin University, planning to resume my studies while helping him with some projects to gain experience. My elderly advisor was moved to tears when he saw me return. Lin Yu, all these years I've been reluctant to retire, just hoping that you would someday return to the group. Everything was developing in a positive direction. Until one day, after not seeing her for several months, Bai Wei cornered me at the company entrance. She looked much more haggard, with her hair hanging loose, no longer as capable as before. She stared directly at me, her tone unusually soft. Lin Yu, I finally found you. Come back with me, please. I miss you so much. After saying this, she made a move to hug me, which I subtly avoided. Bai Wei, we no longer have a relationship. How could that be, Lin Yu? I'm your wife, Bai Wei. Please look at me. Hearing my cold and distant response, Bai Wei became anxious. Bai Wei, we're divorced. The divorce agreement has already been sent to you through my lawyer. But I never agreed to it. And Nan Nan is my child too. 6 months of separation defaults to divorce. As for Nan Nan, I coldly glanced at her out-of-season clothes and old bag, then continued. You probably don't have the financial ability to raise Nan Nan anymore. She'll have a better life with me. Bai Wei lowered her head in embarrassment, but then stubbornly spoke again. And you think you have the ability to raise her? You're just a driver. What money do you have to pay for Nan Nan's education? After 10 years of marriage, she still thought I was worthless. Excuse me, miss, please don't harass our product consultant, someone intervened. Su Yuan appeared out of nowhere, casually took hold of my arm, and I felt a warmth in my heart. Bai Wei's eyes widened as she pointed at our linked arms, exclaiming in disbelief and anger. You found someone new so quickly. Were you two having an affair all along? I'll kill you, you home-wrecking bitch. After saying this, Bai Wei raised her hand to strike Su Yuan, but I grabbed her wrist. Bai Wei, stop making a scene here. We're already divorced. Instead of struggling pointlessly here, you should hurry and find Zhou Shuai to get your money back. Bai Wei withdrew her hand dejectedly, watching helplessly as I left with Su Yuan's hand in mine. Back at the car, I instinctively opened the back door, but unexpectedly Su Yuan went around me and slipped into the front passenger seat. What are you spacing out for, Driver Lin? The boss naturally sits in the back seat, but now Su Yuan was within my reach, and I could even smell the fragrance of her hair. I felt my heart pounding, my face burning hot. I could only turn my head away, but Su Yuan clearly wasn't going to let me off. Oh my, your face is so red, like a monkey's bottom. Seriously though, how's the investigation going on that fake tycoon who ran off with your money? I replied solemnly. I've hired a private detective who's gathered quite a few leads, but Zhou Shuai is very aware of counter-surveillance techniques. All the accounts he used for transfers are overseas, and he's been using luxury cars and watches to pull a bait-and-switch. It's really despicable. Mentioning Zhou Shuai, my face darkened. Apparently, he's not planning to stop there. Huh, greed knows no bounds. Little Yaya, interested in helping me set a trap for him. Her strange nickname for me made me feel a bit embarrassed again, but I was also curious about her plan. Zhou Shuai, hiding abroad, had recently hooked a big fish. The target was a wealthy woman whose social media showed her switching between 3 different cars every day, never repeating. Her dressing room was packed full of designer jewelry and handbags. The backdrop for afternoon tea was a vast, sprawling estate. Zhou Shuai initiated the conversation and quickly learned that she was a wealthy widow who had inherited her husband's multi-million fortune. The wealthy woman's children were all abroad, and she desperately craved companionship. Lonely and isolated each day, she could only watch market fluctuations and make small investments, resulting in her money growing more and more, far beyond what she could ever spend. The wealthy woman was in her 60s, but the occasional photos she shared on social media still showed her charm and grace. Zhou Shuai had been constantly trying to please the wealthy woman, all for the chance to have her teach him stock trading. Little did he know that the person chatting with him behind the phone was actually me. Little Shuai, Auntie is alone in the estate today, and my account just gained a few more millions. What's the meaning of living like this? No one appreciates Annie. Even my son and daughter don't want to learn stock trading from me. Auntie, I'm willing to learn from you. Auntie, I'm willing to stay by your side. Behind the screen, Su Yuan gave a thumbs up. Men truly understand men best. The moment Zhou Shuai landed in the city where the wealthy lady was located, countless police surrounded him. Suddenly, Trending topics about fake socialites and fake wealthy people were pushed to the forefront. Then someone anonymously exposed evidence online of Zhou Shuai's involvement in breaking up someone else's family, and immediately, people began discussing heatedly. Isn't this Zhou Shuai just one of those male socialites? I've seen his social media posts before, totally fake. The real young masters I know would never show off their lifestyle like this. Everyone needs to be more careful. Disgusting. He even created some chat group with a 100,000 yuan entry fee, obviously filtering for potential victims. Internet users followed the trail and dug up more methods Zhou Shuai used to obtain his ill-gotten wealth. The more they investigated Zhou Shuai, the more scandalous information emerged. Reportedly, he was simultaneously deceiving 30 girlfriends. His targets were basically all successful career women. He swindled millions and destroyed many families. Too bad he can't see it now. Otherwise, the online community's collective spitting would be enough to drown him. I smiled as I looked at Su Yuan. After all, this rich lady persona was created by her own hands. Su, you deserve a lot of credit for Zhou Shuai being caught so quickly. The feeling is mutual. After all, you were the one who chatted with him. But you better not deceive me. I smiled, instinctively wanting to pat Su Yuan's head, but awkwardly withdrew my hand. The atmosphere became somewhat ambiguous, and I cleared my throat and turned my head away. Apparently, after Zhou Shuai went to prison, one of the gang leader's wives had also been deceived by him, so he received special care from the boss. Even after release, he would face more charges and massive debts. It was deserved punishment, but that's a story for another time. Right now, I had another worry. Bai Wei, who had disappeared for a few months, reappeared in my life again. I kept receiving anonymous flowers and coffee. On them were graceful handwritten blessings, such as, at 4 a.m., I saw the crabapple blossoms still awake, and felt you should be by my side. I'd give the coffee to colleagues, but the flowers were too nice to throw away, so I kept them in my office. Strangely enough, whenever the flowers were about to wilt, new ones would appear. It gave me a headache. I knew perfectly well who was behind all this. Su Yuan had seen it several times and angrily bought me 999 roses, putting them in the trunk of my car while huffing. Don't you dare get back together with your ex-wife. You want flowers? This lady can give you even more. I smiled and ruffled her hair. Don't waste your money. Some things need to be settled once and for all. Finally, Bai Wei couldn't hold back anymore and showed up. She now looked as polished and glamorous as before, stopping me while wearing sunglasses. Can we talk? We returned to the same coffee shop where I first caught her being intimate with Zhou Shuai. I deliberately avoided that window seat. Bai Wei didn't say anything about it, though I imagine she remembered. She ordered 2 cups of cappuccino, my favorite, and got straight to the point. Add me back on WeChat. After all, I am Nan Nan's mother. I nodded, and she continued. I know you don't like bitter drinks. I still remember. But I declined that cappuccino and asked the server for an iced Americano. It's fine, after tasting so much bitterness in life. I think this little bit is acceptable now. You still resent me, don't you? She took off her sunglasses, looking into my eyes, trying to find the resentment in them. But I just smiled. There's nothing to resent. Bai Wei, we're not children anymore. Let the past be the past. But I can't forget it. Bai Wei's hand holding the coffee cup was trembling. Coffee spilled onto her sleeve, and I gentlemanly handed her a napkin. Her emotions seemed to stabilize a bit, her voice carrying a hint of tears. But I can't be without you, Linyu. Every day when I return to our home, there's no you to cook for me. In the morning when I wake up, there's no porridge cooked by you. No one to warm my feet with their belly when I have my period. I can't get used to it. Linyu, I miss you so much. I watched her sobbing indifferently, her shoulders trembling, and responded politely but distantly. That is no longer our home, Bai Wei. She looked as if she had suffered a terrible injustice, with passers-by casting curious glances their way. She pressed her lips together, handed me a bouquet of flowers, and pulled out one stem. I wanted to give you today's flowers in person. I always take out one stem, just like when we were in school, when you would bring me flowers. Once the flower in my hand withers, it's time for a new one. I've always remembered that. Can we start over? We were together for 4 years and married for 10 years. Can you really let go? I stood up and looked at her swollen, red eyes. I used to be afraid of her tears, even joking with my friends that I couldn't bear to see women cry. But today I felt nothing, as if her joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness had nothing to do with me. I'm sorry, Bai Wei. I'm starting a new life. Can I be part of your new life? You can't. I turned and left, completely ignoring her heart-wrenching sobs behind me. Afterwards, I lived through a period of peaceful days. The company I started with my brother was about to go public. After finally finishing the press conference, I hurried to pick up Nan Nan from kindergarten. However, the kindergarten teacher said Nan Nan had already been picked up, which alarmed me greatly. Su Yuan was still king over time at the company, so who had taken Nan Nan? The kindergarten teacher said Nan Nan left with a woman, calling her mom. I immediately tried to call Bai Wei, but no one answered after more than 10 calls. The surveillance footage at the entrance confirmed that it was indeed Bai Wei who took Nan Nan. The teacher suddenly remembered something and told me. The child's mother said to tell you to find them at the old place. Anxious and worried, I quickly ran to the family playground we used to love visiting. By now it was getting dark, and all the other children had gone home. The entire park was nearly empty, and the uneasiness in my heart grew increasingly intense. When I finally found Nanan, Bai Wei was pushing her on a swing. I was too out of breath to speak, while Bai Wei smiled at me. See, you still care about me. You found me so quickly. I never expected that for such a childish reason, she would take Nanan away without saying a word. I took a deep breath, keeping my tone as calm as possible. Next time, could you please tell me beforehand? Don't you know how worried I was? What is there to worry about? I'm Nanan's mother. Would I ever harm her? I couldn't quite follow her logic. That's not what I meant. Where were you planning to take Nanan? Shouldn't you tell me, her guardian, first? What if something dangerous happened to you too? Are you worried about me? You still care about me. Husband, I'm so happy. I was left speechless, and at that moment, the sharp sound of brakes screeching filled the air. Su Yuan hurriedly got down, and felt relieved only after seeing that Nan Nan was fine. Nan Nan saw Su Yuan and immediately got off the swing, wanting to run in her direction, but was stopped by Bai Wei. Nan Nan, Mommy is right here. Why are you running to that auntie? If you don't listen, Mommy won't give you candy anymore. I vaguely saw a flash of cold light in her hand. She actually had a knife? Su Yuan saw it too, and was horrified, not daring to make any rash moves. I had to speak up to comfort her. Bai Wei, no matter what happened, please calm down first. Can we talk about this properly? She suddenly turned to look at me, revealing the knife in her hand. Lin Yu, can we start over please? I'm begging you. You must still have feelings for me. We were so good together. I've earned a lot more money now. I can't live without you. Right, Nan Nan? Nan Nan loves Mommy the most, right? She held the knife in her palm, clutching Nan Nan's shoulder. Nan Nan cried out in fear, and Bai Wei viciously shouted. What are you crying for? Stop crying. Mommy, I want Su Mommy. Nan Nan, run. The moment Bai Wei raised the knife, I lunged forward, but someone moved faster than me, shielding Nan Nan in their arms, taking the stab. I kicked Bai Wei's hand and restrained her. She was laughing and crying, seemingly deranged. The bright red blood stung my eyes. I felt utterly helpless like never before. Su Yuan, hang in there. I'll call an ambulance right now. Bai Wei closed her eyes, feeling unprecedented exhaustion. She seemed to have done many things wrong, but she couldn't remember anymore. She was about to give a speech. Today's speech went very well, except for one gaze that was too intense, making her feel a bit embarrassed. Senior, my name is Lin Yu. May I pursue you? He was a bright and cheerful boy. I neither accepted nor rejected him. The boy wasn't upset. Every day, he brought me 2 flowers, saying, one for you, senior, and when the one in my hand withers, it's time for a new one. Bai Wei admitted that Lin Yu made her heart flutter in a way she'd never felt before, but she still couldn't say yes to him. She wanted someone who would love her forever, never changing his heart. She didn't believe anyone in the world could remain unchanged forever, so she told him, to prove you truly love me, you must listen to everything I say, and always put me, Bai Wei, first in everything. Did Lin Yu manage that? For 4 years in college, he rejected all advances from others, being the perfect, devoted boyfriend. After college graduation, he declined opportunities for further education, dedicating himself entirely to taking care of me at home. He even willingly gave up promotions for 10 years at work, just to have fewer social obligations and come home earlier to cook. So when did things start to change? After 10 unchanging years, she began to grow tired of days as still and stagnant as dead water. So when Zhou Shuai first messaged her, she didn't refuse. Zhou Shuai was a challenging toy, fresh and young. When she sent him money, he would obediently wag his tail. When she didn't, he would run hot and cold to entice her. She was sinking with full awareness. After the divorce, she would wake from midnight dreams to find Lin Yu no longer by her side. She belatedly realized that she herself was the one who had broken their promise. So she composed herself and sought out Lin Yu again, believing that with his love for her, he would come back if she just coaxed him a little. But he already had someone new by his side. How could this be? Unacceptable. How could he like someone else? That woman was younger and wealthier than her. She had looked carefully. The new person didn't resemble her at all. How could Lin Yu forget Bai Wei? They had loved each other for 14 years. How could it end just like that? She painfully broke free from her nightmare, only to find her bed still cold and empty beside her. She held herself tightly, finally understanding that she had lost Lin Yu forever. She unlocked her phone screen, looking at the unchanged family photo wallpaper of the 3 of them smiling together, and cried uncontrollably. Soon after, she booked a flight ticket to Germany. Because she remembered Lin Yu once said he hoped to visit there someday. So I'll wait for you there, with my next decade, the decade after that, with my entire life. The pungent smell of disinfectant in the hospital irritated my nerves. With the doctor's support, Su Yuan walked out, her right shoulder wrapped in layers of bandages. My anxious heart finally settled down. Su Yuan's pale little face broke into a brilliant smile, standing just a few steps away from me. Lin Yu, I can't walk anymore. Then I'll help you. She extended her hand in a gesture for me to stop, turning her head away with a pouting expression. You clueless blockhead, don't you understand? I've already walked 99 steps toward you. Can you take a step toward me? Just one step? I unconsciously walked toward her, feeling as if my heart was being tickled by a feather. I stumbled over my words, barely able to find my voice. Su Yuan, I really like you, but I feel I'm not good enough. But I'm afraid I'm not interesting enough. Why so many buts? This young lady has been so forward, and this young lady has waited for so long. A pair of small hands pushed me with all her might. Dad, I like Mommy Su. I gently embraced Su Yuan, carefully avoiding her wounds. Su Yuan, I like you. Will you be with me? Yes. After speaking, Su Yuan shyly buried her head in my chest, and I lowered my head to see her ears turning red with embarrassment. Her voice was muffled. However, my parents aren't so easy to fool. You'll have to work harder. Also, I want to drink the seafood porridge you make. No, seafood causes inflammation. You're injured and can't have it. Then I want chicken soup. That's okay. She also reached out to pat Nan's little head, smiling triumphantly. Not bad at all. It wasn't a waste that I spoiled you so much. From now on, you'll be my daughter. Later on, I knelt on one knee and presented the ring to Su Yuan, watching her excitedly cover her mouth as tears fell. Ms. Su, I have a question. What do you like about me? Well, I just like you. You have this warm feeling about you, like if I helped you out, you'd definitely overcome any hardship. What kind of reason is that? Then what do you like about me? I like that you're willful, free-spirited, and kind enough to guide me through all the low points. I like that you're like an iris flower, bringing me hope